Happens, honey. This is called life.
We're live, Liana.
Hi, everyone. I am so delighted to see all of you, and we're in a little bit of a life moment. So, welcome, everyone. I think Shannon, I'm going to turn this over to you. Right?
Yes.
It's my Zoom room, but it's your party.
I'm out of studio today. Amir's in the studio, and
Okay.
I'm in San Diego with my daughters. So excuse the Airbnb background, but it's a beautiful sunny day out here. So we'll hit the beach a little bit later. And we're so excited to have you, Liana. So Amir and I met you last month, I think, in person. We had a delightful lunch, and I had you live on our Facebook also last month or the month before, and we had such a great time together. And I can't wait for you to share your work with our audience. It's incredible, and I don't know anyone else who does the work like you do. So welcome. Amir, do you have anything to say to that intro? Anything to add? You're muted. More life moments.
More life moment. I'm excited. Liana is a beam of light and energy like I've never seen before, full of color and shining. I mean, maybe at the end, you'll allow me to show the picture I took of you in Beverly Hills, just to, a life moment.
I love that.
You can share it now because people are still coming in. And what's so beautiful about what you're doing is, and welcome everyone, you're slowly coming in. What's so beautiful about what you're doing is that we are a family. We're not just, this is not okay, you're over there and I'm here and I'm training and you're the student. No, we are doing this together. And the togetherness, the glue, Amir, is what you're talking about. So do share. Of course, you can do whatever you want. You've got this is your party. My house, your party.
I love the parties in your house, Now I made a promise. I just need to find that photo. That's all.
It's a great photo. It's incredible. And I told my girls about that photo yesterday after we talked with you on the phone, Liana. So we're so excited for what you have in store for us today. I have experienced your work just in little bits the many times that we've chatted together, and we're all in for a treat.
That's, it's beautiful that you say that because you and I we came together out of the blue, right? We totally came together out of the blue. And I remember the first time you and I spoke, there was this very intimate, deep connection. And we didn't know each other. We had been introduced by someone we both love and care about. And that's basically one of the themes of this workshop today, because it's the power of love and joy and intimacy, which builds our masterpiece. That's part of it. So I'm so grateful that you're sharing that. Thank you.
That's so beautiful. Luann, can you let me share?
And we are so excited to have you joining us as a guide, Liana. So when we launch in just a few weeks, you'll have the opportunity to work directly with Liana in a coaching container or in one of her incredible programs. And I think she's got a gift here at the,
I forgot you took that.
I love this.
So where was that?
I believe it was in Beverly Hills, like appropriate to the location.
It was after we had our time together. It was really beautiful. And so I pulled up, I was leaving, I was going to another meeting, and you saw me drive up. He's like, can I take a picture of that? So can we be with life exactly the way it is and exactly the way it isn't? That was one of those moments. And thank you so much for inviting me. Thank you all for being here. I have a couple of requests before we start, because there's a certain standard that I hold when I teach. And I say that at the beginning, because we're going to do a little meditation. We're going to do a lot of connecting. So one of my standards is, and you will see this as you come dance with us, is that I have a statement on my business cards, I see you. And this is way before Avatar. I see you. And I want to see you. So we now have the opportunity to be very close to one another and being able to see one another, me being able to see your face, you being able to see and get the energy from someone else who's over there on the other side. So if at all possible, my request to all of us is that we stay grounded and centered and focused and present. Because when I see you, I can support you. When your camera is off, then there's a huge piece of you, which I'm going to talk about, that's not here, right? So I can see the different dimensionalities of you in your eyes, in the way you move. I can hear it in your voice. When you put the voice and the movement and the tangible piece of you together, then your masterpiece, your three-dimensional living, breathing masterpiece comes to life. So the more I can see of you, the better it is for all of us, and the more I can support you. So thank you so much for doing that. I'm gonna just ask my team and all of you, is my mic better like this, or I'm gonna take off this necklace. Shall I take off the necklace? Is that, no, it's good? Okay, cool. The less I have to do, the better. I'm gonna just put it over here like this and see. Doesn't look quite pretty, but it doesn't matter. So thank you all for being here. Thank you for opening your cameras. I so appreciate the fact that you're taking time out of your busy days to be here today. My name is Liana Chaouli, and I am the president and founder of Image Therapists International. And I am 61 years old. I have been doing this work my whole life. And a lot of people say, what do you mean your whole life? Because when people ask me, how did you become an image therapist, or what does an image therapist do? I say, you know what? I've just been doing it my whole life, and that used to just fall out of my mouth. Because it is in my body, it is in my presence, it is in everything that I do. It's in every aspect of my life. I was teaching a calligraphy class last night, and my assistant was saying, everything goes back to image therapy, which is true. Everything goes back to the foundation of who you be in this world. And how I came to this many, 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 many years ago, when I was a little girl. I'm going to show you this picture because I don't know if you can see this. Can you see this? And you know why I didn't want to do screen share? And I didn't want to do a PowerPoint because I wanted to show you that you are the PowerPoint. You don't need a PowerPoint. You are always the PowerPoint and the point of power. And the way that I learned that was when I was a child. The reason why I do what I do and I am who I am and I be who I be in the world is because of the path that I got to experience with my mom. Now, those people who know me really well know that I had a very difficult relationship with my mother growing up. I'm the oldest of three, very feisty, in case you hadn't noticed, very, very feisty. And I knew something wasn't quite right in my childhood. I would look at my parents and I'd go, why are they lying to each other? I could sense and feel, I would look at their faces, I would watch their body movement. Even when I was, the earliest was like at 6 months old in my crib, I would watch them and I'd go, something's not right. So body movement, facial interaction, the way someone smells, all of that very early on permeated my life. And I took cues from the people around me as to how they were moving, how they were tilting their head, how they were serving tea, how my father was kissing my mother. And you cut my life all the way over to like the 90s. I'm already divorced. I have a young child. I got married at 16. So my life got very big very quickly, on the basis of a Persian Jewish family living in Germany. So there were so many things flooding my life. And I find myself in front of a huge crowd of 3,000 people as a custom clothing designer, teaching couture on how to make off-the-rack clothing look like custom because as an image therapist, I provide transformation through the empowerment of language, action, and wardrobe. And this was the wardrobe piece. I was teaching image consultants how to make clothes look good on their clients. And my mother, who had never seen me on stage, had made sure that she was there. And then she snuck into the breakout session. And I didn't know she was in the breakout session. There's 140 people, not enough room in the space. And I said, please hold your questions till the end. And here's what happened. At the end, I said, okay, please ask. And a hand goes up, a woman goes to the microphone, and she starts talking. I don't have a question, but I have a comment and I want to share. And I am freaked out because my mother is talking in a way that I was just so afraid of her comment because of our difficulties. And she proceeds to say, when I was a young woman, I was so sick that I couldn't get out of bed. My 2.5-year-old daughter, the little girl that you saw in that picture, my 2.5-year-old daughter would go into my closet, pull on the rack until the hanger broke, get the shoes, get the purse, get the hat, get the makeup, get the glasses, and lay everything out onto the bed that I was lying in with the covers over my face. And then she would come and she would pull the covers off my face and she would say, Mommy, please get dressed, because when you get dressed, you're going to feel beautiful and you're going to feel happy. And then we can go out and we can have fun together. And she's speaking this into a crowd of about 140 women. And she says, I could not follow my daughter's invitation because I was too sick. But you, all of you in this room, can follow her invitation because she is the best at what she does. And I know how good she is because I was her first client. So I share the story with you because it is that kind of self-suffering, self-inflicted, I'm not good enough, self-inflicted, I cannot be at peace because I don't look like this, or I'm not skinny, or I weigh too much, or I don't have a boyfriend, or I can't have orgasms, whatever. The conversation is that we as humanity choose to put into this brain of ours. And then it filters into the body and it gets in the way of us being this glorious masterpiece who masters peace. All of that is the foundation and the reason and the passion for why I created what is here today, Image Therapists International. It has helped thousands and millions of, by now it must be millions of women and men all over the world. It is the PhD in design of who you are. Not for you to twist yourself into some pretzel and become somebody else. For you to be exactly the way you are, with exactly what source, God, the universe has given you, so that your masterpiece goes out into the world with bliss and joy and harmony and does what it is meant to be doing in this world. Without the encasing, without the armor, without all the conversation that gets in the way of you not shining your most amazing and beautiful light. Because remember, the light of one candle can light up a whole ballroom and it will never diminish its own light. But we do this. We hide the most precious gift that we have been given because of some conversation that is completely invalid and constantly gets in the way of you taking your light, shining it bright, giving it to someone else, because this candle can light 1 billion other candles without ever diminishing its own shine. And this is who we are. So that's the foundation of our conversation today. And I'm saying this to you not because you are not in a room where you're going to learn. We are going to learn from one another. So this is all interactive. So many of you I've never met. I don't know who you are, and I want to get to know you. And I want to support you in ways and open doors for you that you didn't even know existed. So before we do this little meditation, I'd like to hear from 3 of you. If you're willing to open your mic and have a conversation with me, just raise your hand. You don't even have to do it here in the technical aspect. Just raise your hand so I can see that you are here. Hold on, I need to just go through glasses. I still haven't gotten used to the glasses conversation. Sorry, can you raise your hand again? Amy, Amir. Hi, Amir. Am I pronouncing your name right?
You were right with Amy.
Amy, okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, my French gets in the way sometimes.
It's okay. It's all right. Most people don't know it's French.
Hi, Amy.
Hello.
Is it French? Is it spelled the French way?
It is spelled the French way. I don't know where in the world my parents got it, as we are Ukrainian and Irish and Scandinavian.
Oh, wow. It's okay. It's beautiful.
Thank you.
So I would like for you to tell me why you're here. If you're willing.
I'm here because I'm interested in hearing what you have to say and supporting this community.
Oh, beautiful. What is it that caught your interest, Amy? Like when you were reading, you don't know me, did you go do some research? You can.
I'm part of Guidely.
You're part of Guidely.
Okay. I'm one of the other guides.
Okay, cool.
And so it is very much like community building and getting to know you and hearing about you and even forming this level of connection.
Yeah,
yes, I've heard this woman speak, and she has this beautiful origin story of how she came into herself.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for raising your hand. I'm grateful. Mm-hmm. Who's next? You will know in a few minutes why I'm asking you to speak. Catherine. Catherine Estra. Hi, Catherine. Love your hair.
Thank you.
And your flowers in the background.
Right. I like that also. And my angel and my grandkids. I am here out of curiosity. Okay. I am actually new to you and to Guidely.
Welcome.
And thank you. And I know image is important. I've been on a continual journey to know more of who I am and express that in the world. I am 76, and I know I have a lot more to offer. And
you do. Thank you.
Whole new phase of life that I'm in. Mm-hmm. And I want to bring as much value as possible to myself and to others.
I love that. I love that. Do you feel that you're at peace?
Sometimes, and other times I'm like, but more and more. And I have, I teach Tai Chi and Qigong before the pandemic.
Yes.
So that is
are you doing it now on Zoom, or did you stop?
I did stop. Well, I have 2 places that I still teach with the mask on and everything. Okay. Haven't tried it on Zoom. Thank you.
You are beautiful. Thank you for letting us see what your glorious age looks like. Thank you.
Thank you. I am learning to be willing to speak up more.
Yeah, as you should. I'm not wanting to should all over you, but I do. Because I have a saying that I say, not living in all your talents is like spitting into the face of God. And so I say that to you, or to all of us, and I have to remind myself of that all the time, because what we are capable of as masterpieces in this world, what our spirit lives inside this body. Okay. Without this body, Trust me, we would not be here. We would be floating in some ethereal realm, being sparkling lights together with everybody else that is in our pod. And now we're here. And the most difficult piece of achieving peace is the relationship to the relationship, not just the relationship, but the relationship we have to the relationship that we have to the conversations we have about this body. And I want you guys to just let that land for a minute. Just let it land. So Catherine, when I say that, what shows up inside your body? Because you're a Tai Chi master, so you are very much embodied. And the reason why I'm bringing this up right now is because I don't have an agenda, but here it is. Here's your conversation showing up at the age that you are, at the maturity that you are. You've lived your life over 70 years in this beautiful masterpiece. Yeah. And living life is an embodiment. Style is an embodiment. Okay, so when I say style, you said I can learn about style. Style stands for seek to transform your life every day. STYLE. Okay, clothing is just a tool to envelop and robe your beautiful masterpiece in the world. And most people don't use it as a tool. Most people use it as armor. They do not use their clothing as a frame. How many of you, when I say that, where does that go in you? It's like, what happens to you when I say your closet is not your toolbox? Your closet is a garbage can. Your closet is not a sanctuary. You do not treat your closets, most people, maybe some of you do, most people treat their closets like it's a garbage can, like it's a, like it's not part of them. But this is your second skin that lives in your closet. It's your second skin that lives on your body. Our clothing, Catherine, has the most intimate relationship. It is closer to us than our breastfeeding children. Our clothes, our bras, our G-strings, our underwear. I know you guys are going, what is this woman talking about? Your clothing is closer to you, to us, to me, 12, 14, 15, 16 hours a day. Some people sleep with their bras. Some people sleep in their nightgowns. Not everybody sleeps naked. I do, but most people don't. So when I tell you how this is a tool, it can be a tool, okay, it can be a detriment. So Catherine, I want to congratulate you on this choice.
Sorry.
On this choice that you're making, because it gives me so much joy as a mentor. In the 40 years that I've been doing this, it always brings me more joy to see that when there's an 85-year-old woman in one of my seminars, there's 5,000 people in the room and 5 of them are over 80. And they come up and they say, where have you been all my life? Why didn't they teach me this when I was 20? Why didn't they teach? Why isn't someone teaching this to our children? So all of the elders in my life, starting from my parents, my grandparents, the older people that I see on the street, when the lack of hope is present, which is unlike what you're expressing, Catherine, you know, you have so much joy and buoyancy, but so many don't. That's another piece of my why. Why am I doing this? We are doing this together. I couldn't be doing what I'm doing unless you guys are saying yes to yourself. So I always say we. It's not just my team and I, because Luann and Lupita, my beautiful angels, see on my screen, they're showing up. One is on the right and one is on the left. So they're both my wings. And then I have the 2 guides, Shannon and Amir, on the other side of them. So the way that it's showing up, it's like, we are a family, and us learning together gives us strength. It gives us strength to unfurl our wings. So Catherine, I am delighted that you're here. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Is there anything else you would like to share?
I'm, I'm pleased I raised my hand and thank you for the feedback. It is very encouraging and nourishing to me. So thank you.
You're welcome, honey. I'm delighted that you're here. Stick around. There's a lot to learn. Thank you. Okay, let's see who else. I don't have you all on the same screen, so let me just, is there someone else raised their hand? And yes, Greg, is it right, Greg? Wait, my team is gonna, oh, Greg?
Hi.
Hi.
Hear me?
Suddenly you were gone. Suddenly you're not on my page and I can't. Can you speak up? Maybe then you'll show up on my
Yeah, can
screen.
you hear me now?
Yes.
Good, thank you. Hi.
Hi, Craig. Where are you? And are you, it
I'm in
sounds like you're English.
Yes, I live in London, UK.
I love London.
Yeah,
And I
I'm
lived
very
for 4
lucky to
years
live
in
here.
London all the time. I miss it so much. Thank you, Greg. Hi.
Hi.
Yes.
I think I wanted to come on this Zoom meeting because I think both my partner and myself, we both have this issue of not fully being who we are. Both, we still have conversations from a long time ago that tell us what we're supposed to be and who we should be. And it makes it very difficult to stand within our own power and be comfortable in different situations. And because the two of us are like that, it kind of compounds sometimes.
You mean the two of you have the same issue and then it, instead of bringing you together, it brings you apart? Am I hearing that right?
Sometimes, yes, because it can make us quite difficult for each of us to be accepting of love because we've got these stories about ourselves which are different.
Okay. Can I just reframe one of the words you just used?
Yes, of course.
You said accepting of love, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Can we switch that to receiving?
Yes, yes, yes.
Thank you. So how does that feel when you switch out accepting to receiving?
It's if I think about it, it feels difficult.
Yes. Where does it land in your body, the difficultness?
That
Show us where, like when you say, when you use that word, where does it embody in your body? How does it show up and how does it feel?
it's I think we both can almost reject when someone's been loving to us, and when we don't have it, we want it.
You're craving it. You're craving it. Let me see if I'm getting this right. I'm just going to feed this back to you. You crave it and you're hungry for it, yet you cannot let it in.
Yes.
Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay. So can you give me the one sentence that's in the way? Like if you can, if there was one sentence just for you, not for your partner, for you, Greg, I don't feel, and then fill in the blanks.
So I don't feel I know who I am.
Mm. Okay. Can you see yourself?
Yes, I don't hate myself or anything
You
like
don't.
that. No.
Okay. Is it easier for you to give me 3 kind things about you? Give me three words about yourself. Can you?
I'm just always kind, loving, helpful.
Okay. What a gift. What a gift. Do you express that to people?
I don't tell people that. I'll do things by actions.
Okay. And then when someone is unable to receive your kindness or unwilling, unable, what does that do for you? Does that, what does that look?
Sometimes it can be make me a bit cross sometimes, which I know is not the right feeling to have.
So if you were being kind to me and I pushed you away,
I might feel offended.
okay, might you feel sad?
Taking up an overview and thinking about how you might feel.
Right. So
what's going on.
Thank you for saying that. So this is just the beginning of your journey. Let's just call this the beginning of your journey, okay? You've just been invited to look at the world in a different way. So if I said to you that an angel came down and called you God's masterpiece and God's deliverer of joy, right?
Mm-hmm.
You have now just been ordained. Here, I take my wand and I ordain you as God's deliverer of joy. Then what do you think would happen to you and the people around you as you constantly deliver something from a place of love? And there is no resentment, there is no lack, there is no contraction. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine what life would be? What our world would be like? Is it possible for you to imagine that?
I think I'd need to forget my sense of self constantly and just be.
So this path, thank you for saying that. So this path that we're on, okay? The reason why I created I am the masterpiece who masters peace, which is my mantra, okay, is you are the perfect example for it, Greg. So thank you so much for having the courage and the presence of mind to raise your hand and to share something that is so deeply intimate. Thank you for trusting me. Thank you for trusting us to come into this community and open your heart. This is such a beautiful, delicate, sensitive, intimate subject, and you have just completely opened your heart. So thank you for that.
Thank you.
The reason why I do what I do is because I believe that peace does not start on the borders of our country. I believe in world peace. That's really the reason why I do what I do. My mother and all my clients and myself and my family and my daughter and the relationships that we have are all part of the puzzle that I watch and witness every day when there is resentment and anger and contraction happening. That's why we do what we do. That's why as mentors, we do what we do. So peace does not start on the borders of our country. It starts right here in this vessel, in this masterpiece that gets to master my own peace so that I can become a pebble in someone else's lake. We're now in someone else's lake, right? And like my friend Marianne Williamson says, there is nothing enlightening about shrinking so that other people do not feel insecure around us. Yet our society, our community, our heritage says, no, don't be too bright. Don't be too loud. We have somebody who's Persian, Parisa, is on this call. I'm going to say something in Farsi and she's going to understand me. My father used to say to me, why are you laughing too loud? Why are you being too bright? Why are you this? Now, he didn't always say that. My mother didn't always say that, but we have people in society, in our lives, that bring in the contraction of, no, you're too loud. No, you're too much of an 8. No, on the Enneagram, you're an 8, so get smaller so that other people do not feel insecure around you. Don't be like this. Don't be like that. Do this. Don't do that. So, Greg, when you're talking about how there is a contraction, that contraction has been created over years and years and years of us growing up, all of us. We all have it in some form or another. And to create a community, which is what Shannon and Amir and the whole Guidely family are doing, bringing all of us in, is we've all, in our own world, 40, 50 years, we've created peace. We've created a masterpiece who masters peace. And now we're coming in, and here we are. And you guys, all of you get to be nourished from a place that is incredibly powerful. That is so powerful, not just because of the guides. Here's the reason why it's so powerful. Is because you are all choosing to say yes to yourself. Your courage, your understanding, your curiosity, your willingness to step into this space and say, you know, I don't like this. I don't know how to do that. Please support me. How can I get out of my own way? That, look, we as mentors can be mentoring and menteeing all we want. We can't do any of it without you. So Greg, your path is paved with a lot of possibility. I can tell you that. Like, I listen to you, and I can't wait to have time alone with you, because you and I could do this and we could take up the whole session. What I want to share with you is that it doesn't have to be like this. What I want to tell you is what I told my mom. You are all the reason for why this is so important to me, is because the conversation that's happening inside you is not valid. I'm going to tell you a little bit of an example of why this conversation that you're experiencing, Greg, right? The contraction. So I provide transformation through the empowerment of language, action, and wardrobe. Language creates everything, Greg. Okay, you said, I would rather act than speak, right? Did I hear you say that correctly?
Yes.
Okay, so language precedes action. Action rests on a commitment that we have to a declaration that we make. Let me repeat that. Language is the foundation, meaning declaration of language. God said, let there be light. And what happened? There was light. Okay. I'm going to get up. I'm going to go in the kitchen. I'm going to make a cup of coffee. That's a declaration. The commitment inside of me, the yearning to have a cup of coffee inside of me the yearning creates a commitment, and I follow through on that commitment. These are just very simple steps that we do every day. Now, what if you're doing it because you're feeling guilty? What if you're doing it because you're feeling love? Those are two completely different things. One is guilt is a contraction, and the possibility of creating something, meaning having a thought, taking an action on that thought, having a commitment towards that. If that is floating on a cloud of love and joy and bliss and contentment and passion, the outcome of that is so different than the outcome of guilt and pain and suffering and dissonance. You see the difference, Greg?
Yes.
And that's a choice. So I'll give you an example. I don't need anything. I don't need anything. And I have everything I need. Both mean exactly the same thing. The outcome in the end is the same. You're satiated. Would you agree, Greg?
Mm-hmm.
But I don't need anything is a contraction. It's like, I don't, go away, I'm good. So the whole energy that comes with I don't need anything is a contraction. I have everything I need is an expansion. So life at any given moment, in any situation, I promise you, any situation is how are you choosing to create your life in words, in language, in declarations that then what comes out of your brain flows out of your mouth, falls into your lap, and shows up in your life. So what are you choosing to create? So Greg, the first thing I would offer you, if you were my student, and now you are for this moment, may I offer you something?
Yes, of course. Thank you.
Start speaking, I am a masterpiece who masters peace. Start speaking that.
Yeah.
And then notice what peace means to you. What does peace mean to you? You know, what is it? Luann, I think this would be a really good time. You know what I'm talking about? The question. By the way, can I just get a show of hands because I can see all of you. Thank you so much for opening your cameras. Can I get a show of hands just for a moment? I want to know that you guys are alive and dancing. And is this having an impact on you? If it's having a little impact on you, raise one hand. If it's having a big impact on you, raise both of your hands. And then go like this. Go like this. Shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it like a Polaroid picture. Shake it, shake it, shake it. Yeah, good. Okay. Parisa Aziz June. Where are you? Parisa. Greg, thank you so much.
I'm here.
Thank you.
You and I will talk more. I promise you. Parisa.
Yes.
از اون بالا میاد ننگن نداری مگر عشق مرا بر سر نداری سبز کشمیر ما زلفای تو زنجیر ماست
یا منو ببر به خونتون یا بیا به خونه ما
از اون بالا میای لنگن نداری. So for all of you who are listening to this, forgive me, but this is part of peace. This is part of bliss. This is part of joy. Is can we be with life exactly in the moment, the way life is offering itself to us? Life just offered me another Persian sister, so I couldn't but start singing and dancing.
Thank you.
Thank you, sweetheart. Thank you for being here and singing with me. I love that. So you all raised your hands. I want to see one more time because I have to go to the next page to see you guys. Those of you who are on the next page, raise your hands again. And those of you who are not on camera, too bad. I wish I could see you. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. Love it. Okay. Luann, can we do this? You have to unmute yourself, honey.
Yes, it's in the chat.
Okay. So I have a question for you. It says, since I have not opened my chat. Let me see. Let's see.
And just let me know if you want me to share screens to show what's developing.
Yes. I would love for you to share screen.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, please go to the link in the chat because I have a question for you. Luann, can you also please put the question itself into the chat? Somebody might not be able to. Calmness, centeredness, kindness, ease, fulfillment, gratefulness, calm, joy, inner joy, contentness, ease, thought free. Wow. Awe, expansion, tranquility, joy, at ease, centered, kindness. I love these. Okay. Are they, do they keep coming in? Do we have, yeah. I want you guys to see this. This is you this is us as a community creating and choosing to describe peace. I'm not in there right now, so I can't do this, but I would, oh, good. I love that you guys are putting in these words. Now think a little further. Think not being hungry. Could that be peace? Think outside, think further, think a little bigger. Go to from the concentric circle of peace, go out. What would world peace look like? What does that look like? Communication is one of them. Commitment is another. How about truth telling? Is truth telling part of peace? Yes. So as you're writing these and you're noticing them, notice what's happening inside of you when I say, take the concentric circle of peace inside your heart, around your heart, and then go out, go further, go further, go further. You know what peace to me often is? It's not saying something. It's is tasting my words before I spit them out. That's peace. Because by not saying something, I held back from a reaction, maybe. This is so beautiful. Let's see. People are still writing harmony, satisfaction, bliss, ease, allowance. Yes, passion, allowing, absolutely. Compassion, selflessness, thought-free giving, gratefulness, wholeness, a calm mind. A calm mind is a lot of what we're going to talk about right now. Thank you. This is so beautiful. I love this. Thank you, guys. Are we good? Luann, are they still coming in?
Looks like, yeah. I mean, they're still coming in, but I can
No.
unshare.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's wait till the end. I just have a couple of things that I want to say about this, and I'd love to see everybody's face. So we can unshare and then we can share again.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you. Beautiful. And I just want to see what you guys are writing here. Oh, this is so beautiful. You put them in the chat. I love that. Inner joy, contentment, acceptance, laughter, magnanimous spirit, inner stillness. Yeah, so truth telling for me is a big deal. Now, what if all of this peace conversation had to do with authenticity? Did anybody write authenticity? I don't think so. Be my first word, authenticity. Why is it important for us to be authentic? Because we all are diamonds on God's seashore. You are a note in the symphony of the world. Those of you who play music and know and understand what music is about, have you ever played a note that didn't quite make it? It's like the whole symphony, the whole sonata, the aria, as this is coming from an opera singer, the whole piece of music can find dissonance, reverberating dissonance, if that one note is not played to its ultimate, most beautiful sound. So we are all notes in God's symphony. And hiding your note, not playing it the way it's meant to be played, not shining your light the way it's meant to be shined, what it does, it affects and reverberates inside the whole world. In Kabbalah, in Jewish mysticism, the tradition that I come from, it says Ledor Vador, which means from one generation to another. In Farsi, we say Haf Jadid, which means 7 generations after you will carry what you are creating, good or bad. Now, Lipton talks about how and what happens to us when we are pregnant mothers. There's so much been written about the fact that when my mother was pregnant with me, and at 5 months in her belly, I started to create my own ovaries, and I have a little girl, and my little girl has another little girl. From generation to generation, the joy, the bliss, And most of all, the trauma gets embedded into the cellular structure of who we are. And that's biology, that's science. That's not me just stating something that's ephemeral or ethereal or some woo-woo. It's true. It's science. So we have a choice. How do I choose to create? How do you choose to create your every single day? Your feet hit the ground, your eyes open up. Wow, it's another day. Do you know that 2 million people a day do not wake up? They don't. They don't wake up to have another day. And here we are. The fact that we can do this, the fact that our bodies can experience joy and bliss and gratitude, the fact that our brains can triangulate, we walk by a wall, we know we're 6 inches away. That's mind-blowing. Yet most people don't live their lives in this gratitude and this awe and in that peace, meaning not the piece, the item, but the piece of the world, to know this masterpiece can kick some major ass. You don't wake up like that. And I'm telling you, we don't have permission to create negativity in the world because our bodies weren't made for it. Our bodies were made to be the masterpiece who masters peace. Just look at yourself when something isn't going right and you're hard on yourself and you're down on yourself. Greg just was talking about it. Our hearts are receiving vessels. Our hearts open and close and open and close. They are such a beautiful example of how we cannot do life with just closure. We open, we close. We open, we close. We give, we take. We give, we receive. We give, we take, we receive. That whole loop is the loop of peace. It's choosing to come from love because the one who loves first wins. Not that it's a race. And the one who loves first wins. So love is the foundation for my work. And when you look at yourself in the mirror, I have a statement that I teach from the little girls that I teach 10 years old to 85-year-old women. Seek your sister's greatness, seek your brother's greatness rather than their guilt. We as a people have not been raised to seek our own greatness because that's the first sister you see, or you see your lover in bed, doesn't matter. Seek another person's greatness before you go finding their guilt. And for some reason, it is so hard for us. And it doesn't matter why it is. I don't want to go back and figure out what happened. I just want to move forward. And the truth is that your masterpiece, this vessel that we have been given, is the best portal for peace. Because if I can look at myself and I can see the beauty and the magic of the world inside of my body, like an oak tree doesn't want to be an orchid and a bear doesn't want to be a butterfly, can I be with my life and my body and my mind and my essence and my bullshit and my greatness exactly the way it is and exactly the way it isn't? Because when I'm at peace with that and I can look, I can see that and I can say, you know, I don't do windows and math is not great, but I can cook sourdough bread. It's not that complicated. How many of you have had the experience, and get yourself ready, we're going to do a meditation in a few minutes. How many of you have had the experience, especially the women? And so I want you to be really honest with me, okay? Someone comes to you and says, oh my God, you look amazing. You're so beautiful. And your eyes are sparkling. Are you in love? Right? What's the reaction that most women have? Men actually do it too, but Men do it in a different way then. So I'm just going to talk to the women for a minute here. Who's willing to come on and tell the truth? Because if none of you are, I will tell you what my experience is in 40 years of doing this. What do you think the reaction of most people is? No one? Okay, so I'm going to, is anyone raising their hand, Luann? Can you see? No? Anyone? Okay, Cindy. Cindy, is that right? I have no glasses on. Cindy. Hi, Cindy. I can't hear. Thank you for your courage in speaking up. Yes. What do people say when you give them, you're effusive and somebody comes on and goes, oh my God, you're so gorgeous, and you blah, 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 blah. What do you do? Or what do, yes, tell me what you do.
Well, I usually say thank you, and sometimes you stray away from the compliment or hide from the compliment, or background, or no.
Sydney just raised her hand, and people raised their hand, and now we're all coming out of the woodwork because it's like this. Thank you so much, Cindy, for being the person who stood up and told the truth. That's what most people do. Okay. So this goes back to Greg's conversation where he says, I can't let it in. I can't let it in. It's coming at me. And I can't this is not what he said, but this is, I'm venturing to say, Greg, that this is what's happening inside you, and it's painful. Is that true? You can just shake your head. Okay. So here's what people do. It's like you give them a compliment and they go, oh, I got this at Target for $5. Or they say, oh, no, I haven't had enough sleep and I look awful in my hair and blah, 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 blah. You know what you just did when you do that? You tell the other person to go fuck off. Sorry to be so blunt, but this is exactly what we do. We negate not just our own receiving of joy and bliss and kindness, but we're telling the other person that they're full of shit. Have you ever thought about that? Like if your granddaughter came to you, how many of you have grandchildren? Raise your hand. If you have grandchildren, okay, or if you have a lover, you just made love, you're lying in bed, the sheets are still warm, you can smell everything. It's like, oh my God, you're in this amazing space, right? And your lover says to you, honey, I just love your ass. Okay. Now, we've all hopefully had situations like that. Now, in that situation, would you turn and say, oh no, it's too fat? You wouldn't, because you've just made love, your body is flooded with oxytocin, and that's like the portal of getting rid of the armor, and you're going, thank you. That's when you say, thank you, meaning you're allowing it in. Because the oxytocin cloud that you're swimming in is like, it cannot but let you say that. Okay, now imagine your whole life was like that. So somebody comes and says that to you, and here's Liana's recipe. Somebody says something beautiful to you, you take a breath, and you let it out, and you look them in the eye, and you say, thank you. And then you take another breath, and then you look them deeper in the eye, and you say, thank you, I received that. Thank you. I received that. Now, the first time you do this, you are not going to like it. Your body is going to go, what the hell? Might be. But I'm telling you, I'm part of the Transformational Leadership Council, and my friend and client and mentor and delightful brother from another mother, Jack Canfield, this is what he says. He says, Liana, I'm going to up you on that one. He doesn't just have it like that. He says at the end of that exercise, it's an exercise that we do when we have transformational meetings. At the end of that exercise, he says, and let me tell you what else is great about me. So he has like a whole other step that goes with that. The thing is that receiving is an embodied action. It is something that you want your cells to do. It's like as if you were eating food and in your mind, you're telling yourself it's poison. That food is not going to go into your mouth, through your esophagus, into your stomach and do something wonderful. Because the conversation that you're having, this is, by the way, why so many people gain weight, right? They have one piece of chocolate and they gain 5 pounds the next day because the connection and the conversation is there. So thank you. I received that. Practice it. And the first place you practice it, where do you think is the first place you practice it? Sydney, you had your hand up earlier, so I'm feeling very courageous about you. Go.
Well, you can practice it in a mirror or
right.
And telling positive affirmations to yourself, or just building your self-love and confidence and how to respond. But you can also practice it with your close friends and family. And then when you're in public, it's an easier transition with people you don't know.
Yes. Thank you. Mirror. There's a mirror exercise that I do with all my clients. And because it takes so long for the body to adjust itself, meaning embodiment takes about a year. Did you know that? Embodied action, habits, patterns, and then the brain does not just rewire itself. So here's what happens to the brain. Miss Dyslexia over here. I'm highly dyslexic. I speak 6 languages, can dream in 5, translate in 4. By now, it's 4. Dyslexia is like, don't tell me to read anything out loud. It's still hard. I can do it now, but I can't really read out loud. I make a lot of mistakes, and then I can't comprehend. So I force myself to read my book on audio. The reason why I'm sharing this with you is the brain is like wiring, okay? And old wiring does not just go away when you start new patterns. The new pattern gets laid on top of the old wiring and on top of the old wiring. And when the old wiring doesn't get activated, the brain prunes it away. It prunes it like we prune trees and roses. Okay? So Greg and Sydney and all of you, Greg especially, when you keep saying, I am the masterpiece who masters peace, the declaration, the language is where the pruning starts. Now your body is going to know if you're lying to it. Your mind is going to know if you're lying to it. So the words and the actions and the inclination to be in a community that supports you, which is why Guidely is so important, which is why having a mentor is so important, which is why reaffirming and repracticing and being in a community that holds you and loves you and sees what you're doing and acknowledges it is so unbelievably important. So thank you all for all the comments you've made. I'm going to take you through a 2 or 3 minute meditation. So what I'd like you to do is make sure that you're warm enough, even if it's just 2 or 3 minutes, and put your feet on the floor. Make sure you're comfortable, okay? If you want, you can lie down. It's not going to take that long. And just feel your body for a minute. Before you close your eyes, just feel your body. Feel if there's any tension anywhere. If there's, just give that part of your body a big fat kiss. Notice the tension. Give your body a big fat kiss. And when you're ready, I'm going to put on my glasses because I want to see you. I really want you to close your eyes. So close your eyes. Don't look at me. I'm going to actually turn off my camera for a minute. Thank you, my team, for putting everybody back into the space. I think people keep leaving and coming back. Thank you, guys. Okay, so what I want you to do is just to hear my voice. Close your eyes. Take a deep breath. And when I say take a deep breath, I mean Breathe into your belly, deep into the bottom of your belly. Not into the top of your lungs, but into the bottom of your belly. And have it balloon out, and then relax it and let the air out slowly. And then can you feel the air going through your nostrils? And then can you feel the insides of your eyelids? That's embodiment. Try to expand your essence into your body like a whole big, beautiful perfume cloud that you are inhabiting the top of your head to the back of your nose, the small of your back, sides of your shoulders, your elbows. Can you feel your pinky? What's happening back of your knees? What's your pinky toe doing? Inside your shoe? Or is it naked? Are you cold? Sense all those beautiful sensations. And then kind of get cozy in your masterpiece. And once you're cozy and comfortable, and you can feel it, and you can see yourself, take another deep breath. And I'm going to invite you to come and take a little walk with me down a beautiful street, wide street with lots of trees and cobblestone. As you walk down the street, you look ahead and you see beautiful, amazing palais, like somewhere in Europe, like a different time. Gorgeous building, and you're walking, and slowly you can see the entryway. What does it look like to you? Notice the colors, notice the birds singing. Notice the gentleness of the air and how the sunlight is hitting the windows. And as you get closer, notice the stairs and what the cobblestone feels like under your feet. And you draw closer and closer. And you post your foot, your first foot on the first step. It might be marble, pink, gray. What is it for you? What do the stairs look like? You go up 1 and 2. You take another stair, 3. Take another stair, 4. And as you step on stair number 5, this amazing, beautiful portal, door, gate opens. And you step into a realm that you've never been in before. A gorgeous light-filled space, a circular room with huge windows, light streaming in from every single part. The birds are following you through the windows. The roses in front of the windows are touching your nose and you can smell them. And as you get closer into this beautiful room, you notice that you're in a museum and that the walls are covered with paintings, and nooks and crannies have statues, and you can touch them, unlike normal museums. And there's one magnificent statue that you can see with its back to you, which calls you. And you walk in joy and bliss. And as you walk, the wind touches your face. And the closer you get to the statue, the more curious you are about the shape, about the way it's carved, about the color, about the space that it's in, how the light hits it. And you slowly come around and you inspect it from the bottom to the top, and your eyes go from the base to the feet, to the knees, to the thighs, and you admire the whole statue. You admire the bliss which it sends out into the world. And you're respectful of every curve. The belly, and your gaze goes up and up and up. And then you choose to look at the face. And as you do, a beautiful tear starts to emerge from your left eye, because the statue is you. The statue has your face. And suddenly you notice that your admiration and your honoring and your curiosity wasn't about someone else. It wasn't about someone else's art. It wasn't about something outside of you. It was a reflection of you. That the beautiful monument that you are in is your life, and that at the center, in the middle of this beautiful blessing called your life, is the amazing masterpiece, which is you. That all the light that's flooding through is honoring who you are, reflecting the most beautiful pieces and parts of you. And that life is always there for us to put ourselves into the middle of the monument. And as you notice and recognize, you drink it in. You bow to the inner goddess and the God in you. You take another deep breath. And as you look around at all the other masterpieces, you recognize all the people in your life that you love. Your mom, your dad, your family, your extended family. And the tear turns into a smile. I want you to know that this is a place that rests and lives inside of you. And at any given moment or any given day, you can come back and visit. So as you take another deep breath and turn towards the main gate, you step outside and the sun is even brighter. You get to the staircase, you step on step number 5. With a big smile, you go down to 4. With the acknowledgement that you can always come back, you go to 3. You step on step number 2. And as your foot hits step number 1, you know that all of this beauty and all of the beauty of everyone else that was there with you is something you take back home into this realm. And as you step back on the street, take another deep breath. Allow all those feelings to come forth and be present. And as you walk back down the street with all the beautiful trees. Allow yourself to come back in the room. Feel your toes, feel the back of your knees. How are the insides of your eyelids feeling? Come back in your body. And take a breath. And when you're ready, open your eyes. Beautiful. Okay. How was that? Amir, how was that for you? Luana's going to unlock. Yeah.
Your camera is still off, Liana, even though I see you.
Thank you for reminding me of that.
It was incredible. It was very much needed this morning. So I feel the peace. It was, I met a lot of.
What? You're on mute again. Hold on. Say that again. You've what?
I said I met a lot of family members this morning, and I met myself. And it was beautiful.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Good. Thank you. So I want to hear from some of you. So if you have, just give me one word and just raise your hand. Luann will unmute you. No? No one wanting to share? Oh, Catherine.
Delightful and very, very peaceful. Very peaceful.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for saying that. Yes, Cindy. Nope. One more time.
It was magical and transformative.
What did you get out of that, honey?
I felt a sense of peace, and really, as we were doing, inspecting the masterpiece, the statue, I took in every inch of it as we went up from the feet up to the face, and it just really kind of opened my eyes to myself.
All right. Thank you. Thank you for saying that, Cindy. So this meditation is the beginning of my work, essentially. So I created this work from who you are. Each one of you has a masterpiece. We all live in this body. And the conversations that we have regarding this body are not the conversations that are of adoration and admiration and connection and love and just, oh my God, I'm so beautiful. So I created something called Your Essential Formula so that each client has an imprint and knows exactly what the imprint is, because you do not fit into somebody else's box and there will never, ever, ever be another one like you. So when I said earlier that I'm going to come back and share with you what this work is based on, it starts with you. It starts with your masterpiece. And the way to achieve peace about your masterpiece is that this is who I am. When I go to sit on Oprah's couch next week, I want to look as beautiful as I am, not wanting to cut my head off to lose 20 pounds, not wanting to be something different. This is it. So each one of you has your own essential formula. And the way that I'm going to express it to you is so that you really understand that this is a portal that most people have never walked through. Your body has its own amazing beauty, just like any statue in a museum. We would never decline the beauty of a statue in a museum. We would never decline the beauty and the amazingness and the grace of one of our children or one of our grandchildren. Yet we are so hard on ourselves. We would never let someone talk to our loved ones the way we talk negatively to ourselves. I'm fat, I'm ugly, I can't do this, I'm blah, 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 I'm such an idiot. So you fill in the blanks. The truth is that when you get to see yourself through the eyes of Source, the eyes of God, which is essentially what the essential formula is, you get to have a different acknowledgement of who you are. Like the bear doesn't want to be a butterfly. So your essential formula consists of your body, your physical body, and it starts with your physical body and your coloring. So those are the first two pieces in your essential formula. You have a body, and that body has architecture, and you have coloring, and that coloring has temperature and value. So when my hair was dark, it was different. When Catherine's hair was dark, it was different. And as you understand what the parameters are of your masterpiece, you get to dance through life. Even when those parameters change, you get to dance, whether it's weight or whether it's color or whether it's muscle or whether it's growing up. When I teach this to children, you know, they're 10 years old and then they're going to grow up to be adults. The truth is that your coloring, as it changes, you can learn how to adjust it. Your body, as it changes, you can learn how to adjust it. So those are two physical components about your masterpiece that have to do with art, ratio, the golden rule of the Greeks, proportion, and everything else that you need that's physical. Kind of like, okay, this is a candle, okay, and it's skinny and tall, and this is my water glass, which is cylindrical. So I'm cylindrical. I am as wide from the side as I am deep. As wide from the side as I am deep, like a Coke can, okay? So each one of you has a figure, a body. Each one of you has color combinations, your hair, your skin, and your eye color. Those are physical tangential pieces that you can actually talk about. Then what comes about is the other pieces that nobody actually really looks at, like your gaze. Your gaze is a very important piece of your masterpiece, of your essential formula. Some people you look at and they go, oh my God, that person's really looking at me. And some people you look at and it's like you're looking through a water glass, like there's nothing happening there. It's just like, so some of you are smiling because you know exactly what I'm talking about. So your gaze is a huge part of who you are. Then there's the piece of the body and how the body moves. So after your coloring and your body structure, the pieces that are non-tangible is your gaze, because most people don't know how to distinguish that. Then there's your movement. How much space do you take up in the world when you're speaking? So there's the Japanese geisha who never takes up any space because she's so unbelievably contained, and she can wear long, you know, sleeves because she never moves. But then there's the Italian mama who makes pasta in the kitchen. If I put that kimono on that Italian mama, there would be no pasta sauce in the pot. It would be all over the damn place. So clothing and what envelops you and what supports you has to do with your movement. How do you walk? How do you move? How do you are you very extravagant? Do you take up a lot of space? So hair, skin, eyes, body, your gaze, your movement. How do you serve tea to your lover? How do you kiss someone? How do you hug them? That's all part of your essential formula. How do you walk? And then there is the sound of your voice. So if your voice was like this and you look like this, but then suddenly it's a very different person. Your voice is a huge part. So when I keep asking you to speak and I want to see you, I want to see how is that voice replicating that face or not? Is there a dissonance? And if there is, how do you dress that body with that dissonance? Because I don't want you to change. And then the last piece of your essential formula is your essence. Your essence, are you an introvert? Are you an extrovert? You do not have to change for anyone. Clothing needs to be fit you. Your environment needs to be fit you and who you are, not the other way around. And that's the biggest piece. That's the piece that we actually when we do work together. That's the biggest piece, to just learn and understand your masterpiece and find acceptance for it. Because that's the way it is. It's not going to be twisted into a pretzel, but most of the world has had us this way, to twist ourselves into a pretzel to gain acceptance from others. And the true place of self-acceptance does not start with others. That's why it's called self-acceptance. It starts right here with us and who we are. And if I can accept myself, I can firmly and kindly and gently walk into a world and not listen to those people whose opinion of me is different. And that takes learning. Where are you guys? Are you still in the meditation? I'm kidding. So just give me like this so I can actually see you. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. I want to be respectful of our time.
And
Shannon?
Liana, would you like me to give the link
Yes,
out?
yes. Would
Okay.
you please? Thank you.
So if everyone, it's in the chat, imagetherapist.com/guidely gift. And we have a free gift with this essential formula that you'll receive.
Yeah, and would you also please, Shannon, would you please tell them what else is possible? Because I'm getting a lot of private messages.
Well, anything is possible. We live in a world of infinite possibility. I'm not sure exactly what you're referring to. What else?
Guidely is when's Guidely going live?
Definitely, thank you. So our launch date is our loose launch date, our tentative launch date is the second week of January. So exact date, will be firmly announced as we get closer. And we have 70 guides on the platform. And the way that it works is you come onto the platform and say you're looking for guidance, and you might not even know that you're looking for a coach like Liana. You answer a series of short questions that help you identify and the algorithm identify where you could use support or healing or growth or transformation in your life, and you're matched with a few guides that are right for you. And then you have the opportunity to look at programs they're offering or one-on-one coaching packages or just a single session. And Liana is one of our fabulous guides. There's a couple other on the call I've seen. Amy was with us earlier. Sky is one of our guides, and we're really excited. So not live yet, but you can follow the link that Luann dropped in the chat and begin working with Liana in that container, and then hopefully move to Guidely.
Yeah, I want to encourage all of you, men and women, to go watch this series. It's really, really a powerful, it's a powerful expression of the pieces that make up you. Your you-ness, there will never be another one like you. And when you watch the series, when you actually come on and you get the series, you'll be getting 2 or 3 or no, 5 or 6, Luann? Is it 6 emails? It's 6 videos, right?
Correct.
Mm-hmm. And they come like two days apart. And so it goes through what I just shared with you, the body, the coloring, and it gives you a deeper understanding. They're very short. They're like 5-minute videos. But it gives you a really good understanding with props and the things that I go into. And the other thing that's really interesting is you can see me when my hair was a lot darker. So I've been going silver since I was 18. And when you watch those videos, you'll see like my hair is shorter and it's darker in the back because it started here. And I want you to notice the empowerment that you get from just those few videos. And what door that opens for you, and write notes about it and start asking questions and come and join us. I cannot tell you how excited I am. I did not create this. I didn't tell you about all the stars and Cher and Diana Ross. And here's the reason why I don't do it is because this is my world. And Shannon and Amir know that. This is where I want to have an impact, because my vision is to uncover 1 billion stars. Okay? Each one of you is one star. And when we can be the masterpiece who masters peace in the world, and mastering peace starts with our own body, then come join me. It's so empowering. And I always don't talk about it enough because I get so excited about it. And I've done it in Germany and Jordan, kings and queens, but the truth is that this is my community. So I love you guys. Thank you. I've gone over a little bit, Amir. Are we am I going to get demerits for that?
My dear, this was so incredibly powerful and inspiring and magical. And I see the faces, and I want to thank you all, and I want to thank Liana for taking the time, and Luann and Lupita, thank you so much for working so hard and putting this together. It was incredible. Thank you for the gift.
Thank you.
We are getting ready to launch, and we have a fun game coming up. The Money Bots game coming up early in January. We'll send announcements that is also facilitated by some of our guides. And I want to thank everybody for being part of our community so far. Invite your friends. We're getting off to an incredible start for 2021.
Yeah.
We're really excited to have you as part of our family. So thank you. Have an incredible new year. And, thank you.
I love that. And what I want you guys to do, because we can't do it live like this, but put in the chat what this did for you. Just put one little sentence or one word or something. We have like a minute to do that. So everybody get on the chat and put in, what did this do for you? What has this touched you? Has it opened up your heart? Did it give you an opportunity to go in and be kinder to somebody else? What did it open up for you just before you leave? And I want to say, as you guys are writing this, what a privilege it is to be here with all of you. That this is my world and this is my life, and I will do this until the day I leave this body. And the last thing I want to say is that I did get to die in 1993. And if you see me fierce, and if you see me with fury for your greatness, then it is because I answer to a higher source. And often the difficulty of uncovering the mask and the armor has to come with some fierceness. So, and I'm fierce for your greatness. And I love you guys.
I love you. And Anna, you're an incredible example of somebody that lives right in your gift and walk the talk. It's incredible. So
thank you. This is so great.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for your courage. Thank you.